I doubt you'd put more than 5 grand into each one, maybe a little bit more.
First one, all in, was about maybe like four and a half. And then second one, not too much, about maybe like just under 4. So
Spend 8 grand and to potentially make back 40k is very good work, bro. You should be proud of yourself for that, for sure.
on my lunch break, I literally just call like agents every single lunch, 20 agents a day or something. So I went to some courses before which, you know, were expensive, and I paid those. I didn't quite feel like I was getting any support after.
Welcome back to Luke's Properties YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to sit and talk with one of my successful rent-to-rent students, Tim. Tim has 2 rent-to-HMO properties up in Coventry that are making him over £1,200 per month in net cash flow. And he's also in the process of buying a 7-bedroom HMO property. There's loads of tips and gems in this episode, so make sure you have a pen and pad ready. Let's get into it. So how's life been treating you then, man? How's things been going? Fill me in. I've got so much to catch up on with your journey.
Yeah.
I feel like the best place to start would be when I guess you first come on the course. When was that? 2020?
It was the back end of 2022. Yeah. Just
So you did that, and then I guess that's the best place to start. Where you was at then, what you was doing, like work wise, what made you want to get into rent to rent, I guess, and then we'll just flow from there, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so by trade, I'm a chartered accountant, tax advisor, specifically in corporation tax, which is just what I enjoy. So
handy.
And I think, and so property for me started like when I was in uni. So I used to just literally just read a lot. Like the first book I obviously read, Rich Dad Poor Dad. After that, I'm reading books and just like watching YouTube videos and learning about property. And then I came across obviously the rent model, and then I was like, okay. So then, whilst I was at uni, I went to some courses. I went to some, like a 2-day training course and some other courses, just to kind of get myself around it.
Sure.
But then I just felt like it was too good to be true at the time. It was too good to be true until I think fast forward, because the first time I went to an actual event was 2019. So I went to an event there, but then I was like, nah, too good to be true. I left it. Then I was like, nah, this stuff can work. So then I just came back. I think I came back again, and I just, but I was still kind of skeptical about it.
Yeah,
and
of
then
course.
It was only 2022 when I was like, you know what? This stuff has to work, man. People are doing it, so it must be real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah, of course.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna fully go 100% in it and try to make it work. Because if someone else can do it, I'm sure I can do it, right?
For sure.
I literally just did that, and so in 2022, I started just because I was at work. So I was, on my lunch break, I literally just call like agents every single lunch, 20 agents a day or something. And
that's the best way.
Obviously, I came past you because I went to some courses before, which were expensive, and I paid those, but I didn't quite feel like I was getting any support after that course, essentially.
Fair enough.
And that's where obviously I found you, and and since then I think it's just been smoother as it was before. It gave me a bit more confidence to like just go ahead with it, and
for sure. That's definitely something that we try and push through with our mentees. It's definitely like having that accountability side, but also like helping you guys along the way as well. Not just giving you like some downloadable course and then you never hear from us again. We want to really like almost hold your hand along the way and make sure you feel like you got that support system.
Booked a call with you, and from then on, I think it just opened up my eyes a bit more. It gave me the confidence to go, because I was kind of like, I felt like I could do it, but then I felt like I couldn't do it. And I had the chat with you. You seemed so open. You were just so chilled. You weren't trying to like. So it was just kind of like, okay, cool. This guy seems like he's here to like hold my hand through it. So I was like, okay, cool. I was a bit more satisfied and content at the time. So so that was back in 2022, and then I think first deal, I think that came through mid-Jan, I think.
Okay, which is quite quick, to be honest. That's quite soon.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. Like, I couldn't believe it myself, but that's obviously because I was calling like so many agents.
Yeah,
I got used to like
for sure.
No.
So it sounds like it happened quickly, but in actual fact, because you've been doing the work months prior, it probably wasn't that quick for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah. What was I doing? So yeah, literally, just like I said, I was calling landlords and agents every single lunch and on my break, and yeah, and then when I called one and he said, "Oh yeah, we do company lets," I was like, "Oh really?" I was shocked because I've been hearing so many no's. I was thinking, really? You actually do them?
Yeah. But, you're almost expecting to get told no, isn't it? So it's like shocking when they say, "Yeah, we're open to company lets." It's like can be quite a shocking thing to hear.
Yeah, exactly. So then, that came through, and then I managed to get like some negotiations over, some contracts over with the guy, and and then that was the first one. I got the keys in Feb, and then it just.
Did you go and view it, or?
I did go view it beforehand, and then I came back and said, you know what? Yes, I want to take it. I want to take it. And
whereabouts was it? I think it was up in Coventry, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So it's in Coventry.
So you're willing to travel a fair bit from where you're based to go and find the right
opportunity. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Coventry was an area because I went to uni in Birmingham, so Coventry was an area which I knew fairly well, and I knew some like investors that were already doing some good stuff over there. So I was like, Coventry is actually, it's a low barrier to entry in terms of it's a low barrier to entry in terms of fees to like start up, and it's near the uni. It's a university city. So then it was just like, okay. I think I kept my eye on Coventry for a while. I think it was either Coventry, London, Milton Keynes, because I'm from MK. But
okay.
That's just a bit tricky over there because there's so much Article 4 and it's hard to actually going over there. So I think I set my mind on Coventry, and then and then after that, I think that was my patch, and then I just
expanded from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So going on the cost of entry, I guess similar to my story where I was looking in London originally as well, looking in areas like Tooting and seeing that prices were like $3,000 a month for like a 5-bed HMO. Drive down to Wales, same house I can get for £1,200 a month, £1,300 a month, something like that. So it just means you can do more with your money and make your money work harder for you, doesn't it?
No, it's true. Yeah. So that's where I settled to, and then obviously, and then
So that was a 5-bed HMO.
Yeah, so that was a 5-bed. Sorry, so that was a 5-bed HMO. I took it off the agent, and I essentially like from there, I think they kind of done the contracts and stuff, and I reviewed them, and then I just basically said, okay, that's fine. I could work with that. And, and then so that was the first one. And
so was that like an introduction? Did you have to pay a fee or anything to them, or are they managing it on an ongoing basis for you, like sitting in between, or how's it working?
Yeah, so for that one, they were kind of the middle people between me and the landlord, which kind of worked out okay because I was going into it and I didn't know. I felt like I knew a lot, but at the same time, I didn't know the hidden stuff that I could come and face. Essentially,
yeah, of course.
I think because I think I had them there, and I think they took a fee off the gross rent which came in, which is still fine. I think the landlord asked for 1,700 a month, and I think after that, so basically after all costs, I think I came in with about 550 each month. So for some, in between there, I think he took off his fees from the gross, and then it's still left with a decent profit. But I think I had to become a bit creative with it as well, just so that it can work for me, because I needed to make that $3,000 back within like 6 months or so. So I had to kind of become a bit creative with that. But yeah.
For sure. I mean, that's how our first deal worked. We went with an agent in the beginning, and I think they were taking probably around 10% or 12% of the gross rent as a management fee. And what I think you're alluding to there is in the beginning, you have all the knowledge and you've done a lot of the research, but you don't know what you don't know in terms of operations and actually getting the keys and how the actual property works, right? So it can be quite beneficial in the beginning to actually work with an agent and have that extra bit of assistance where if you need them for management or something goes wrong maintenance wise, you can give them a call. you can maybe leverage their in-house contractors that they have, like handymen or
exactly,
people that can fix things.
So just to cut you short there. So obviously he had a pool of like handymen, like electricians, plumbers, and essentially I used his people. And so going on to my next my next deal, because I had their contacts, it was just more like, okay, hi Johnny, could you have a look at this boiler? You know what I mean? It was kind of easier. I didn't have to go out there as much to.
Yeah, because you'd already built those relationships.
Exactly. So that was pretty handy.
For sure. So Firebird HMO, what sort of tenants did you go for? Did you go for like a group or contractors or individuals, service accommodation? What was your strategy?
So for this first one, because I think I obviously liked the service accommodation, but I just didn't think I preferred the HMO because it's more, for me, it was just more fixed as opposed to, someone coming in for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. It just seemed a bit more. If I could give like a 6-month contract, I know I'll get that 550 every single month, which worked for me. And so for this first one, I think I had I had 3 friends that came to me, and they were both, and they were all like students, international students actually. They came over in the house, and so I kind of kept it. After that, I think I kept that whole house just more students, and just because I felt like it would just fit the dynamics really well. So that first one in spare room, I literally just targeted students, mainly international students too, because I think it helped in the kind of culture and who they are if they'll get together and stuff like that. I think was something which.
So you already had a group of 3 basically people that you knew, international students that you could put in there as a start off, and then you sort of built around those 3 basically with similar type like-minded tenants to make it have that cohesion.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. That's exactly what we teach. That's exactly what we want. We want them to have like-minded views and similar jobs so that we don't get too much headache on the phone and arguments and things like that, people moaning about eggs and people stealing milk from the fridge and things like that.
You don't want that.
You don't want that at all, bro.
But yeah,
so that was the first one.
That was the first one, which was calm, which was good. It took me a while to kind of get things, like fully sorted and for it to actually settle. I don't think I started making like a clean profit until maybe like month 4-ish, because I still, I think for the first 6 weeks, so I got the keys in like mid-Feb, I think, early Feb. I filled those 3 rooms in the first like 3 weeks. And then I was still obviously reaching out on spare room to other prospective tenants, which took me about another 2.5 weeks or so. So I didn't actually, and then I had to pay obviously the landlord her fees, but I hadn't filled up all the rooms. So I had to obviously go out of pocket. So it kind of just made my margins a bit less at the time. So I think until like month 2, I wasn't quite making that clean profit.
That's pretty normal. That's pretty normal though. I think that's still quite good going in hindsight. It's most of the work like with rent to rent is done up front in the beginning. It can take 3-4. I think the limit I set is 6 months is the maximum I'd like to sort of teach people to make sure they're getting their money back and making some money at that stage. But the idea is that you're speculating to accumulate, isn't it? So you're putting most of the upfront effort in the beginning with the view of it being a long-term agreement, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, even in some cases. And then you make your money back at the back end kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that one was for a 3-year term. It was a 3-year term with a break clause after. I think break clause was, after, because I think they gave me a break clause from September, which I agreed to. So from September onwards, if it wasn't working out, I can just basically hand the keys back to
perfect.
Working out, and
perfect. Which gives you that reassurance, gives the landlord that bit of reassurance as well. That if it's not working, there's no point everyone hanging around something that isn't working well. We can both give the keys back and go our separate ways, which is ideal, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy because like obviously I must have done my figures, stacked my figures, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make 550. It's crazy because I got the keys in Feb, but then when it came to like, let's say spring, it came to like what, March, April, May. it began to get a bit warmer. So then, but obviously I didn't realize, you know, how this is going to affect the rents and stuff. So obviously, because people aren't using the electricity and gas as much in the summer, I think for a few of the months, it came up to like 7. I think in no way am I making 700.
Yeah. I remember that feeling myself as well.
I had to go back and check have I paid all the bills, and I was like, oh really? So actually,
have I left something out here?
So for those few months, I think from last year was pretty warm. So I think from like May till like September-ish, because it was still pretty warm in September.
Yeah.
You know, it was actually cash flowing really well, and I was like, okay, wow. Like, So I think that was really handy. It came in handy. It was really helpful.
It's an eye opener to how it works. It definitely spend less on utilities in those spring and summer months compared to the winter months.
For sure, the winter months are hefty.
The winter. We'll get onto that. But the winter months can definitely change things a bit. But I guess it all balances itself out, doesn't it, over the course of a year or 3 years? But that's definitely a nice little surprise if you get things tenanted going into spring, and then the bills are less than you predicted. It's a nice touch, especially when you're starting out. You get a bit more money coming back in, and then you can take on more deals or put it back into the house if need be, you know. So that's definitely a nice surprise for sure. So that was the first one.
So that was the first one.
Making money, first one's done. Student tenants. Moving on.
So I actually had, because I studied for my professional exams, I got to take exams like whilst I work. So I took like a few months just to like obviously finally get like the hang of like the actual model itself, and also just to obviously study and revise and pass my exams. So I think so after Feb until the end of summer, I was just working on that first deal and also just, you know, preparing for my exams.
Of course.
I didn't take any more deals.
Of course.
So, but obviously, in the summer, I started to look for more deals just casually, and then so I had the deal secured before actually I finished my exam. So actually, I think I had I had 2 exams, and the night before my last exam, I had the landlord. It's the same landlord actually. It's the same one. So basically,
fantastic.
She hit me up and she was like, "Okay, I'd like you to take on the second one, you know, and it's next door." And I was like, "Okay, sounds
even
good."
Better.
It does, yeah. So at the time, I was so like I was just studying. I didn't really have any time, so I said, "Okay, I'll arrange the viewing. I'll come and view it, but I won't be able to take it on probably until early September or so." And she was like, "That's completely fine. It's perfect." So I think I must have finished my exam in September. I finished my exam, went straight to Coventry, got the keys, started literally just advertising it and doing as quick as I can, because I remember for the first one, I had to get on there and just advertise and try to get the rooms filled.
So, that's what you have to do, man. You have to be all over it, otherwise those weeks go by fast, don't they?
Yeah. So so I got that second one in September, which was next door. Didn't really have to do much for that. That was okay. But actually, going back to the first one I had to literally do like not a full-on refurb, but
more than you wanted to.
Yeah. I had to buy beds. I had to buy beddings. I had to get like some.
That's the game, bro.
Yeah, man. I wasn't expecting it, but I was like, I had to just make it like just nice,
homely.
You know, homely in the sense. Yeah. It was just it wasn't in good condition because it had lots of damp. It had lots of. It wasn't great.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the game, though, right? I mean, like, if you don't do that, then it's difficult to attract those higher paying premium sort of tenants, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so I did that
more than you wanted to.
For this second one, though, it wasn't too bad. I just had to get some bedding and some lamps and stuff and a vacuum cleaner. But it's just all.
It adds up. It adds up.
Yeah.
I think that type of person that's looking for that type of accommodation, they really do want it to be obviously as furnished as possible. But I think the main thing for them is the affordability and the sort of convenience of that one-off payment where they're paying you, but essentially their bills are covered within that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they've got everything they need to live.
Yeah. So that's one part of my strategy, is just to kind of, keep all bills included. But then I became a bit creative with that. I kind of just said, I think I'll cover, like, let's say up to, like, £100 or something. And anything over this particular amount threshold, obviously you have to cover in the next rent. So then that's what I kind of had to do, just to make sure that I'm not overpaying.
For sure.
Yeah.
We've done that many a time, bro. Like, end of the day, if they're not paying for it, then all of a sudden the windows are open and the heating's on full blast, and money's just going out the window,
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to have some sort of benchmark to say, look, like, put a cap on it and say that this is what's fair, this is what we'll cover, but anything more than that, and it has to be down to you, because we're running a business here, end of the day, and it has to make sense.
Yeah, exactly. So that one was also a 5-bed HMO, and cash flow really well. Cash is pretty much similar to the first one, same figures, similar figures, around 550-ish.
Yeah,
which it's not too bad. It's good. And again, obviously in the summer again, like for example, now it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's doing a bit better than it will do in the winter for sure. And similar tenants, so professionals, like students, or a little bit.
This one, so actually, do you know what? Actually, for this one, I don't know why, but I was struggling. But it's a better HMO than the first one. But for some reason, I was struggling. So then I run it as a service accommodation for, like, the first month.
Okay.
Because I put it on Airbnb, and I had 2 people interested, and I think they were international, but they wanted it for, like, just a month. And then I said, okay, I think I charged, I forgot, I think it was like 50, 60 quid a night or something like that. But
that's fair.
But yeah, so like, for this first one, I was struggling. So then I just put it on Airbnb, and then just about the time they were about to leave, I finally got some tenants interested, and I was like, okay, cool. So now at least I'm not going to be paying out of pocket, like, for everything. It's just for this, little bit. And then obviously I filled it. I filled it back by around November times, I think. So I filled it then, and then it was okay. It's running fine. And the tenants are currently they're international. Got 2 master students, a PhD, and just a regular professional.
Yes, a good balance for sure. I think that's the great thing about rent to rent in general. Obviously, you've got your rent to rent, but you've got your subcategories as well. You've got your rent to HMO, and then I'd say the way I put it is, you've got sort of long-term options, you've got medium-term options, and then you've got short-term options as well with the Booking.com and Airbnb stuff. And I think it can be great to be able to juggle between the 3 sometimes, because a lot of people think of it as like, oh, it can only be one way, especially more so recently from what I see on social media now. It seems like everyone's doing service accommodation, right? Everyone's doing Airbnb. That's the new buzzword, right? But what people don't know is there are probably better tenants, I'd say, or more sort of consistent longer term tenants out there as well, who will stay there for either a medium term, say 6 months, or 3 to 6 months. And then you also have those people, if you can find groups, who will be there for years in some cases as well, So there really is a few options with rent to rent. It's not just one dimensional, which is why I love it so much, because it leaves you flexible to go down a few different avenues if one isn't working as well as you'd like it to.
Yeah. So, which is actually kind of funny, because on my first one, it was renting out, and then also I had a period which I think I had 1 empty room, and I just put that on Airbnb, and that went even like a few days. And then, so although it wasn't quite tenanted for like a 3 month or 6 months. This person was in for like, I don't know, like 20 days or something, which kind of helped bring down the cost a bit, and then
of course
came in. So
of course,
I think it's good to kind of mix the 2.
Definitely,
definitely,
because that's one of people's main concerns is like, I get this like literally 5 times a day. What if I can't find tenants? That's like people's main thing. And it's like, if you rent it for a good price, you do your due diligence, and you build a good product, i.e. furnish it, market it properly, then you're going to, worst case scenario, at least it's going to pay for itself. Even on them quiet months when you might not have as many tenants or guests or rooms filled as you'd like, you're still going to make it pay for itself because it's still a very necessary product in the marketplace. And whether you rent one room out on Airbnb and do the others as professionals, or whatever you end up doing to cover those months, it's still going to pay for itself. You're not going to be out of pocket. You still are controlling an asset that at some point you're going to figure out exactly how to master it. It's just a matter of time. So it's just like trial and error. But people are always concerned about renting it and then all of a sudden having an empty house for months. And it just doesn't really work like that, does it? If you market it properly, someone will come. If you build it, they'll come, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Just have to be a bit more patient.
Yeah, so that's that one, which I felt like it should have been easier because it's such a nicer property. But for some reason, I don't know why I struggled with it in the beginning anyway.
Yeah, it's part of the game, man.
Yeah. But I had some issues on the first one where, obviously, I think I told you, some guy who rented it off me for like 6 months. I think in the 4th month, he decided to fly back to India. He didn't tell me. So then,
yeah, they do that.
I was chasing him. I was thinking, where's this money? Where's the rent? And then he didn't respond. I was like, I have to leave him.
Yeah.
And then I sent him an email. He finally responded. He was like, I had to leave for a family emergency, which is, I don't know. But anyway, it's what he said. And then so I had to just like forget about it and
move on.
And also I learned, because on that first one, because I wanted to get it filled quickly, I didn't charge deposit. So I guess people just came and kind of just like for him, for example, he just came kind of, I got no deposit. I can just go.
I can leave when I want.
Yeah. So that was a learning curve. I was like, okay, I'm charging deposits from now on because initially I was thinking, if no deposits, people will come in. Like, do you know what I mean? But I need to protect myself in a sense.
For sure. I think there's again, it's a juggling act, right? I think having a no deposit thing, we do that, and it has its pros and cons. Like you say, people do sometimes think it's just a hotel and they can come and go as they please. But I guess the pros of it are you feel it quicker when you do that, don't you? Because someone only having to pay 1 month versus 2 months is a huge difference to people, especially at the moment with the cost of living and things like that. So I think in terms of filling it quick, it's great. But like you say, it can be good to get a little holding deposit just to give yourself a bit of a contingency just in between turnovers,
Yeah. Which is good. Which is fine.
So you learned from that. And then moved on. So you had 2 properties filled pretty much within 6 weeks to 2 months of having each one, which is great going.
Yeah. Running okay. But that's literally kind of my so that's it. I've not been able to get another one because I think my goals have kind of changed. Not completely, but I felt like I didn't feel like it was easy, but it was like, okay, I get the model.
Yeah.
I could get a couple more, but I'm okay just having the 2 working and trying to maybe branch into something a bit more, something else, because I figured I wanted a bit more ownership,
Yeah.
And I felt like, okay, I need to use these profits and then just try to like put like some funds aside for something that's more like that I can actually own in the sense.
Yeah, I think that is brilliant that you're thinking that way, because I always say to people that rent to rent, it's not a forever business for sure. It's definitely a vehicle that you use, like you say, like I've done, like you're alluding to there, to turn a significantly small amount of money into a bit more money, and then with the view of using that money to then go into ownership, where obviously you get the capital appreciation and the wealth of owning the asset, and also the skills you've acquired with learning rent to rent. When it comes to you owning as well, obviously you're only paying a mortgage as opposed to having to pay the landlord's mortgage and then some on top of that, which is normally what they want, right? So exactly. You develop your skills, you sharpen your knife doing the management rent to rent side, and then as you go into ownership, you're so prepared, and you probably know a fair bit more than most typical landlords now, because you've managed and you've been in the trenches, right? So you've done some deals. You know how to manage tenants. You know how to manage the property. You know about maintenance, things like that. So when it comes to ownership, it can be the perfect hybrid, I think, to learn that way, learn and earn at the same time, and then go into ownership where you obviously have less cost in terms of operational costs, because you're only paying your own mortgage really, and you've got so much wisdom from the work that you've done prior.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably, obviously, it's something which you do really well, because I've seen, obviously, you have rent to rents, you got essays, and then obviously you got your own portfolio of like assets that you own, which is obviously it's the way to go.
That's the way to go for sure. So tell me what you've been thinking then. Tell me about this master plan. Let's get into that.
This master plan. So actually, yes, over the past, like, I think since the back end of the last year, I've been just learning obviously about the buy-to-let market, and also just like the development market for like HMOs. So ideally, that's what I've been learning and gearing myself up to. And so we're currently just still almost there, but we're still just working and getting things in line. But it's a bit it's a bit more challenging, and a bit more, obviously, a bit more stuff goes into it, and a bit more cash goes into it, of course. But
of course, that's the huge barrier to entry is the large amount of money you need to put down as a deposit, right? I mean, it's nothing to joke about. You know, most people can't afford those deposits. So if you can manage to get those deposits together, then obviously that's fantastic for you. You know, if you can.
Yeah. So that's currently what I'm doing. I've actually currently got an offer accepted. I got an offer accepted back in March, and that's kind of why I've been quiet on Instagram. So I've not really been posting much, because it's taking a lot of my time.
Yeah.
And,
Listen, bro, I know exactly how you feel, because buying property is a slow, painful process.
It is.
Like in my mind, it happens quickly, but it doesn't, does it? It's a very tedious and slow process.
Yeah. But so I've got an offer accepted back in March, and we're in July. I'm not even completed. It's just it's a joke, isn't it? It's a joke. But
well, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I've got some houses that I've had offer accepted back in 2021, bro, and we're still here, and I haven't got the keys yet.
It's insane.
Yeah, so there can be charges on the property, or there can be issues with the seller, and there can be so many different things, that can hold it back. So I know how that feels. I sympathize with you for sure, bro. So that place that you've offered on, is that an HMO then, or is it just like a normal buy-to-let, or what's the plan with that?
So that's actually it's a HMO, and it's a development project actually, which just kind of made sense for me, and it's in Coventry as well, so it's near my rent to rent. So I know the area.
Trying to take over up there.
Just trying to like stay in that patch really, because I think it's good. But yeah, currently so we got an offer accepted in March, and then we had to get the searches and stuff going. We're still in conveyancing at the moment actually. First will come back, and we're just waiting to see if we can complete it within the next 6 weeks or so. Just need to get evaluation done. But
sure.
But it has some issues where the owner, obviously, he calls it as a HMO, but he's got no proof that it's been a HMO, and it's just been a bit going back and forth trying to get the proof, the HMO license, his tenancy agreements, but he's not really offering anything, and it's just been a bit of a headache.
Right. Okay. So I know those types of vendors. They can be quite difficult to deal with. So we don't know if it ever actually has been licensed, I guess is where you're at.
Yeah. So there's nothing on the planning portal. Say, it's been HMO and that stuff. So we actually went in. My architect went in to kind of say, we're planning to move this from a C4 to like a sui generis.
Generis, that's right. Yeah.
They came back and kind of said, we have no proof. Unless you can come with a proof to show us, then we can't. We have to class it as a house, basically.
As a normal house,
Yeah. So which is a headache. So it's just been.
So is there Article 4 up there, or is it?
Yeah, so it's Article 4. It's Article 4 up there. It came in September 23. So ideally, we're trying to prove that before this, it was running as a HMO, and up until now, you know what I mean? But it's just a bit difficult.
I know how that.
I kind of missed the boat. I feel like I missed the boat because before September last year, it would have probably been okay. But obviously, because Article 4 came in September, it's a bit of a tough one.
Yes, I know how that goes. So we've got a visitor there. So I mean, I guess the goal would be to obviously get it, and you want to have as many lettable rooms as possible. I guess the more rooms, the more profit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You were saying it might be a development project. So would you be refurbishing it, or what was the goal? What's the goal there?
Yeah, exactly. So the goal is to actually just go back to brick, extend the rear by about 5 meters, and go into the loft. Because it's a 5-bed HMO, as the guy says. But we're trying to maximize the space and make it a 7. And I guess it's hard to get the 7s, but that's ideally where you want to be if you can.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, even if you end up getting the 6 and maybe a couple ensuite rooms in there, obviously, you can charge more for the ensuite rooms, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Whatever way you can juggle it and manipulate it so that you get those maximum rents, it would be the ideal scenario, right? But I know people that have gone for 7 or 8 and then they end up getting knocked back and sometimes get 6/7 rooms out of it. So just see how it goes. You want to push for as many as possible, though, right? For sure.
Yeah, exactly. If I can get the 7, great. But I think if we can get the 6 on an LDC application, I think that should be. I think the figure's still stacked for it, so it should be okay.
Yeah, no, for sure. And is that something you're looking to fund yourself, or are you raising finance for those types of deals? Have you got opportunities for other people in the future? Maybe people watching your story who'd want to get involved.
So like a bit of it I'm funding with my own funds, which I obviously have gained from like a bit of the rent to rent, a bit of my job as well. So that's kind of helped. And then I'm just raising finance from like the remaining. I'm raising finance from like family, friends, etc.
Makes sense. And you just give them a fixed return.
Exactly. So I'll give them a fixed return of minimum like 8% or so.
Yeah.
Depending on obviously how much they learn.
Yeah.
But currently that's the goal so far. Obviously, if this goes through, fine. If it doesn't, back to my rent to rents. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We go again.
Well, for sure, you're building, right? And this is the beauty of having those first 2 rent to rents. Just running through the numbers quickly there. I mean, off the back of the calculator, 550, 600. What we looking at? 36 months. You said they're 3-year deals, right?
Yeah.
So looking at the best part of 20 grand coming back from them each one. So 40K for both of them. I doubt you've put more than 5 grand into each one. Maybe a little bit more.
I think the first one all in was about maybe like 4.5.
Yeah.
And then second one not too much, about maybe like just under 4. So
so amazing to spend 8 grand and to potentially make back 40K is very good work, bro. You should be proud of yourself for that, for sure. That's a shrewd bit of business.
I'm not on your level yet. I'm not on your level, but it's okay.
Well,
it's okay.
It sounds like you're right coming behind me, bro. I might have to speed things up because those numbers are good, man. It sounds similar to like Wales, really. I mean, those types of figures. It's you can do so much more outside of London. I think get so much more bang for your buck.
Yeah. So you're not in you're in Wales at the moment, aren't you?
Right now. I'm in London. Right now, I'm in London.
Oh, you're in London?
Yeah, I'm in London right now. Yeah, bro.
Oh, nice. I didn't know. I thought you're just always in Wales and you're never like coming out. No. And you just over there.
No, that's my patch. So similar to you, like my patch is there. Obviously, my dad lives in Wales as well. All my rent to rents are in Newport, which is like not far from like Bristol. And then all the houses that I own are maybe half an hour away from there, up in the valleys.
Okay. Nice.
So it gets even cheaper up there as well. But again, like anywhere else, you get that ripple effect, similar to how you'd have in London, where I am now, Crystal Palace, South Norwood, those types of areas. They've all gone up in value.
Wow, okay.
Over time, haven't they? So when London goes up, so similar to when Cardiff goes up, then the houses in the valleys go up a couple years after that as well. So it's working out all right, bro, so far.
Nice, man. Well, it's looking good. I've seen what you're doing. I've seen how your follower count is going up every day. I'm thinking, this guy has hacked it. He's hacked the way.
Well, look, if anything you practice at and you do over and over again, you get better at, right?
Yeah.
So when I first started, I only had 200 followers. That was like maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
So obviously, you do the reps, and similar to rent to rent or anything else, you practice makes better. I'd say never perfect, but definitely made some improvements. So that's something I can definitely help you with in the future as well, if you ever need help on that, growing your brand and stuff.
Of course. I think when I started to like see you, I think on Instagram you were like 30K. Now you've doubled that over. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy.
Yeah. Just practice, bro. Practice. I'm working out the algorithm, and obviously Instagram changes like the formats that it likes to push. So staying in tune with that sort of stuff and just developing the skills as being like a creator, I guess, you know, something that I've been heavily focused on over the last couple of years. So it's nice for it to start to pay off, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely,
and it can be great to build that brand because you can get other income streams from that as well, like that we can talk about in the future. And, you know, you can get so many more opportunities, especially if you're like trying to raise finance for projects and things like that. I mean, you know yourself, the power of it is amazing, right? You document what you're doing and people just want to, they'll be handing you money for 8% a year. You know, that they're not getting that in the bank. You might get a high interest at 3-4%, but to get 8% back from someone who's trustworthy and knows what they're doing is few and far between. So it's an amazing thing to be able to offer people, for sure.
No, exactly. Yeah, man. But that's honestly how I'm trying to push it to. But
no, you've got it, man. You've got it. You've got the base. You know what I mean? You've got the income coming in from the rent to rents. You've gone and done the work. So I think you've done amazing in that short space of time. If you consider coming on the course back end of 2022, you know, now we're 2024, you know, you've done a lot in that space of time. And you should definitely pat yourself on the back, because some people will be trying to take on hundreds of deals here and there, but I do wonder sometimes if they're actually making money. You know, it's better to have quality over quantity, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because I've found that myself, where, you know, we've scaled to having like 20 in the past, and I've definitely gone back through those and cut that right down over time and got rid of the bad eggs, you know. The ones with the landlords that might be headache, or the ones where they're not quite making as much as they should be, or like you say, you know, sometimes you have an empty room that you just can't fill no matter what you do. You know, so you have those, you do get tricky properties sometimes. So I think it's definitely a quality over quantity game for sure. And everything else that you see on social media, I will definitely take with a pinch of salt. You know, people putting up numbers just to sort of try and clickbait and impress people, but in actual fact, to have a business that's bringing in the best part of 40K over 3 years is very, very good work for sure, bro.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Thank
you. so going forward then, obviously this house you're going to try and get over the line. If it doesn't work, I presume you're just going to go and find another and try and do the same.
Yeah, I think, you know, hopefully we complete in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And then obviously if it doesn't go through for whatever reason, you know, I can just try and find another one. But in the meantime, I'll probably get another rent to rent. Because, you know, why not? I can do it, so I can just get.
But it has to be the right one, doesn't it? And it sounds like you've got a good relationship with that landlady, where, you know, you've got that good connection. She understands how you work. She seems to be leaving you pretty much to your own devices and letting you get on with things, which is what you want, really, isn't it? So you're adding value to her, whilst obviously making some money. So it's a win-win for all parties, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I guess if you don't find HMOs, there's single lets and probably quite cheap properties in that area you could buy as well, that you could rent out as Airbnbs, or you could find some medium-term tenants in there, and I'm pretty sure you can make some good money that way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's where I'm also looking at as well. Obviously, as a backup, not backup plan. It's still the same plan. It's just more like if I can't do this development project, then obviously it's fine. I could move the funds into that. It works
for sure. Because that's the game, right? You want your money in, because the quicker you get in, when the market does what it's expected to do over the next 3-4 years, as you can see from Savil's predictions, and probably looking at some of my content, you know, you're looking at 20% in appreciation roughly over those next 4 years across the board, really, in those types of areas. So I mean, that says to me that you can almost, the money you put in, you should be able to get most of it back out over those 3 to 4 years in terms of appreciation when it comes to refinancing.
Yeah.
So I mean, the quicker you get in, the quicker your money starts to grow, doesn't it? So don't leave it too long, you know.
No, I'm trying not to, but yeah, that's probably the goal. That's probably the goal for the next until the end of the year.
For sure. That's a great goal to have. So going forward, then, any plans other than that? Just continuing to build the rent-to-rent portfolio. If the right deal comes up, buying the right type of properties and building that wealth going forward as well. Potentially raising finance. You've got a lot going on there, and you're still juggling all of that with your full-time job as well.
Yes, still here. I mean, I think I've had people say to me, "Oh, Tim, you can just leave it and just try to focus on this, and you can scale." But you know what? I think because I enjoy my job, and I think what I can transfer from my job and my skills is obviously into business as well. So obviously, my accounts prep, my corporate tax, any kind of allowances and stuff like that. Obviously, I can do that. So I think it helps either way. And the funds I get from my job, obviously, I can just pull that into property.
No, for sure. Look, like there's a lot of stuff online, and people's almost shaming 9-to-5s, and that isn't certainly what I try and say. It's more a thing of if it's working for you and you can enjoy it, and you do have enough time to go and build a rent-to-rent business on the side, to go and start buying property as well, then stay in the job, because it's going to be cash flowing you and helping you do that, right? And you've probably studied for years to be able to do that. So it makes sense to leverage the knowledge that you've built up over the years. It's just the people that are in soul destroying jobs, or jobs where they're not really making much money, it's not really a high skilled job. That's a different scenario, where, okay, maybe you want to build your portfolio, your rent-to-rent portfolio, and escape the 9-to-5, so to speak, because you're going to get far more from being a rent-to-rent operator than doing 40 hours a week for someone that you're not really enjoying the work you're doing. And you're just sort of watching the clock go by. That's more the advice I would tell people. But if you've got a good job and it's something you enjoy and there's money coming in, and you can still buy your assets and build your business on the side, then by all means stay in that until you need to, and if you can, keep it for as long as possible, because it's obviously working for you.
So that's probably the plan for the next a few years or so, and then we'll reevaluate and see what we can do.
So either way, your numbers are always going to be spot on with what you're doing, with your skill set, right? So it's going to help you. Those accountancy fees can be hefty. So any advice for anyone starting out? I guess someone who, if you could pass yourself back to how you were feeling 2022 when you didn't know much about the model, you're probably a bit more apprehensive. Like you say, you weren't sure if it worked in the beginning. What would you say to someone who hasn't got much capital starting out, and they're a bit more apprehensive of how it could go for them?
I mean, so because I started, getting myself interested in this area, in this model, since 2019, and I only made the jump in 2022. It's crazy. So I think one thing I can say is just start and figure the rest out later. Because as soon as you start, you'll be able to kind of accumulate that kind of know-how, and then you can start to work. So I think first of all, just get educated. Luke's Properties, he's one of the best, to be fair, in terms of he's just going to give you that. He'll give you that guidance. So obviously, just hit him up, get the course, and the courses aren't expensive. So so just jump on that, get educated, and start as soon as you can, because you don't want to waste time. Like I did.
For sure.
I could have been further up, I guess, if I did just
but I guess everything happens for a reason. Everyone's timeline's different, and at least you are where you are now. You're very much building your property business as we speak, and somewhat established up there in Coventry, which is impressive, and you're looking to buy and grow wealth, which is amazing. If you think about where you were back in 2022, it's a big difference.
Just one note on if you haven't got the funds, you can borrow the funds with the rent-to-rents. You can probably get, I think, so you can obviously raise finance from your friends and family. You can probably get, I think for now, in the last few months, I've used interest-free credit cards, but that's obviously if you've got a good credit. it can work. So I've had interest-free credit card for about, I think I got one for about a year, 12 months interest-free, about $3,000, which I was able to utilize at the time. So, you know, if you can do that, if you can tap into that and pay it back, and then as quickly as you can, there's zero interest for like 12 months, 6 months, and then just use that, pay it back, get in, and then just, you know, you can get it that way. There's so many ways which you can get the funds. It's not
creative finance.
Exactly. So you can,
I think that's great advice.
So many ways. Just don't let that stop you from, you know, achieving your goals, really.
Yeah, because I think that's people's generally speaking, most people's understanding of money is that it's like a finite thing. But really and truly, if you start opening your mind to like, how can I get the money for it, as opposed to thinking like I have to use my savings, you might not have savings. But again, if you get creative and you get skilled at finding the opportunity and the deal, then like you say, there'd be no shortage of people who would be happy to give you a loan or to get a return on a fixed loan, or you can go and get an interest-free credit card and go that way. And once you've got the property and it's cash flowing, you can start to chip away and pay it back. But just to caveat that, you know, you do need to be good with money and understand that you're not just going into a hole of, you know, you take money's something to be used as a tool, isn't it? It's not something to necessarily take out and go on a holiday and then figure out how you're going to pay it back later. You need to have a plan, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I should have said that before, but
no, it's just fine. It's good that you're even using that type of creative finance, because I think a couple of the other students have done that. I think Esfa done that for one of her deals in the beginning, and it's worked out great for her. So however you can acquire the deal, get your foot in the door. In my mind, the rent to rent is always going to work harder than the interest in theory on the debt that you take out, right? So
exactly.
As long as the debt you take out, you know, the thing you're putting it into is going to outwork the percentage on the debt, then it's just money, isn't it? It's just a tool, you know. So many people are quite fearful of taking out debt, and they see all debt as bad. But if you look at the wealthiest people in the world, they use debt as something to leverage themselves further ahead and grow and scale their net worth, isn't it? So it's about having a positive relationship with money in general, and using that debt to really grow and scale. I think is definitely the mindset shift that most people need to switch on to. And that can take some time. That can take some time, right? You might have to read a couple books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and things like that.
It's true. It really shifts your mind. I think I read that. I think Think and Grow Rich is one other one which I felt like really, you know, opens up your mind. And, you know, I guess it's like if you can think it, you know, you can do it.
You can do it for sure. Most people's hurdles is those self-limiting beliefs, for sure. That is where 85% of people that message us every day, that's what they're struggling with. So it's just being open to a different mindset, I think is the first step people need to get over, and then it can all go from there, bro. So where can people keep up to date with your all these developments that are going to be happening in the future? And where's the best place for them to find you, bro?
So I can. What I need to start doing is posting more. I've not been posting as much as I like to. So I think on Instagram, my at is A1Tim __. You can find me, and
A1Tim.
So far, that's literally where I keep everything. But I need to try and grow that, and basically just start posting more. Which I'm doing. I'm gonna start posting.
There's only a certain amount of hours in the day, right? So you know.
Yeah.
But that's definitely something I can help you with, and we can have a chat about that. And I think, like anything similar to building the rent to rent stuff, it's just having a plan, having a bit of a calendar, and getting ahead of it as well. I think helps, rather than feeling like, oh, I've got to create this piece of content whilst I'm doing all this other stuff. I think we can make a plan and get you ahead, so you've got, you know what you're doing, and you might even have content in the vault ready to go, rather than uploading in real time.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something I can help you with, bro, for sure. But people would love to see more of these rent to rents and more of the Coventry area in general, I guess, and some of these HMOs and opportunities. I mean, the more you post and document it, the more people are going to be looking to work with you. So that's definitely something to put on your notes as something to do on your to-do list for sure.
To-do list, yeah, absolutely, yeah, man.
All right, bro. Well, it's been great catching up with you.
Yeah, likewise, man. It's been a minute. It's been ages. So,
it has. But I mean, we had to wait a bit of time so that you obviously had something to talk about, right? And the more you have to talk about, the more we have to catch up on, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But I'm glad things are going well for you. And as I said before, pleasure to teach, pleasure to work with, and onwards and upwards for you for sure. I think this is just the beginning for you. So I'm excited to see how the future is going to look for you, man. I'll definitely be keeping a keen eye.
Of course, man. I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate you, and I appreciate
no worries, bro.
And yeah,
and we'll get a game of football. We'll get a game of football.
Yeah,
soon.
Soon. That's also pending. So
yeah,
I can't wait to see what you can do on the pitch as well.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that for sure. But yeah, next time you're around, we'll definitely get a game going, man. Get a little 5-a-side or 7-a-side somewhere. I look forward to it.
For sure.
All right, bro. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers.
And we'll speak soon, yeah?
All right. Cheers, Luke.
Take care, bro.